Hey guys, what is up? It's Bib07 here again, and welcome to another Hardcore Iron Man progress video here today, Season 2, on the road to all collections as usual. And in this video, we are going to be doing quite a lot of Raziel. I was really grinding him for pretty much exclusively. It was the only PVM I was doing, and that was pretty much all I was doing on the game outside of dailies and you know, just my normal other things at the time. We do have a few other clips in here, as including one where I just go on a yapping, rambling rampage for a solid 10 minutes or so. So I hope you guys love those. But yeah, we also have just a bunch of drops and a couple of other things that hopefully you guys will enjoy. So yeah, I know I haven't made a video in a little while. I've just been a bit busy with other things, but I am still playing the game. Just going, you know, taking the time to make these videos is sometimes a little bit difficult when I've got other stuff going on, but yeah, still been playing pretty much every day, and I'm definitely going to be making more videos and vlogs and stuff, or you know, whenever there's more stuff to make videos about. I mean, there's been news on Group Iron Man and stuff like that, but no big like updates or anything. We have the Halloween event coming next week, which I will be covering, and then we have Group Iron Man, which I'll probably be starting a series on the group on the Group Iron Man I'm going to be playing as well. Because why not? I'm still going to be playing it with the mindset of hardcore, you know, no death approach, but it's not available on launch hardcore, so that's kind of sad. Anyway, enough rambling about that. Let's get into the clips, starting off with a post-commentary one right here. I'll roll in right now. And this one's actually quest completion randomly. It's the Sanctum quest, which is pretty easy and, you know, nothing to worry about really. I think I tried to go in and do Sanctum. That's why I have a Hellhound summoned, but then I realized I hadn't done the quest yet. So this is just me completing that. And yeah, I wanted to do Sanctum, I think for a Moonstone or something. I'll probably talk about it here in the next clip, which will be a little bit of live commentary. Okay, we are here at the Smithy, and I'm going to be completing the last task in the or the Underworld, I guess, task set, as it isn't just in anymore. After completing the quest in the last clip, I went to the Sanctum of Rebirth, just did normal mode, of course, as hard mode is a bit dangerous and I want to have my full setup, but I did 3 kills, and on the 3rd kill from Nakatra, actually, I did manage to get a Moonstone, which is what I needed, but it was actually more stuff that I needed other than just this Moonstone to get tasks done. I also needed to get a Soul Cape, which requires you to complete the Memory of Nomad fight. I didn't really have any issue with it with my necromancy, but that was an additional thing that I had to go out of my way and do. But also, you have to craft a soul rune at the soul altar while wearing the Soul Cape, and I didn't have a soul talisman, so I went and did some shifting tombs actually, and managed to get a talisman from one of the sarcophagi in there, which is a 1 in 200 drop rate. I got pretty lucky on it. I probably opened like 40 or 50 maybe. So yeah, that was pretty fortunate to get one so quickly. But yeah, I don't have the Slayer level for either of the 2 things in the Sophanum Slayer dungeon that drop the Soul Talisman, so I didn't have one yet, and now I do, and it's in my Wicked Hood. And other than that, I don't think there was anything else that was difficult. This step is probably the most difficult for Iron Man, I would guess, aside from the Soul Talisman, because getting a Moonstone can be a pain. But now with the new, I mean, Soul Talisman will probably take the cake since the new boss is out. But yeah, other than that, what else was I gonna say? Can't quite remember. The reason I'm doing this is because it has a very good boost to rune crafting, which I am going to need to be doing soon for necrotic rune crafting. I'm getting a little bit low on runes in my Nexus here, so I'm going to need to craft some more. And yeah, I wanted to have all the boosts I could available, and this was one of them here. So, and this also be me getting my Taskmaster back, but let me just make sure that I am doing this right here. I don't want to make a mistake and then need to go get another Moonstone. That would be just kind of annoying. Cut the Moonstone. Okay. There we go. Make the Moonstone bracelet, which we need the ensouled bar for, which I do have. Sold bar into the bracelet. This works out too because I also want the bracelet for teleporting to do the rune crafting. So that's pretty convenient. I already have the necklace and the ring. Runestone bracelet, make it. And then we just need to enchant it with level 5 enchant spell. There we go. I have completed, oh, it still says the City of set tasks in the broadcast, even though that is not correct anymore. It's now the Underworld set tasks. And there's Taskmaster once again. And now I can talk to Killy here to claim my rewards for the hard task set. You get the level 3 Grimoire, which has so many effects to read on it there. We will throw the XP and Herblar as usual. And then we head to the bar, and I believe talk to Crunchy to get the other reward. So I mean, of course, a lot of the task set items are very, very useful, but this one seems like it's going to be extremely useful for several things. So yeah, here we go. Crunchy, claim some rewards. And there we have it, the purple Underworld Grimoire 4. And I can throw this in Herblar, 40k XP, not too bad. And let's see, so what do we get? We still have the effects of all of the other ones. So picked up ashes or sent to the bank, that's from the level 1 Grimoire. Dropped 10% chance to mix 4-dose necromancy potions when mixing 3-dose necromancy potions in the City of 2.5% chance per impure essence of receiving an extra rune. That's upgraded for this. And then extra experience from ritual disturbances. You get the free telly to the smithy, but that's only 10 per day originally. And then the level 2 Grimoire upgrades the types of bones that are sent to storage. And allows you to also get a 10% chance to mix 4-dose super necromancy potions when making them in the City of Increases the impure essence reward to 5%, or the chance of an extra rune to 5%. More XP from dispelling ritual disturbances, and more necroplasm from rituals, as well as unlimited teleports to the smithy and 10 teleports to the ritual site. And you can get some free garbage from Loop every day. Well, the Ghostly Ink regular isn't bad, but otherwise not great stuff. Now the level 3 one, and this is the new stuff that was released with the update. A bunch more bones will be automatically sent to the focus storage. This is when you wear it. And then you have a 10% chance to craft 4-dose extreme necromancy potions when mixing them in the City of So you can basically get that chance for all the levels of necromancy potions. That extra chance of runes goes up to 7.5%. 9% extra XP from ritual disturbances, and then 10% extra necroplasm from rituals. The tellies to ritual site and also the Ungale ritual site are now unlimited. And you get some better supplies from Loop every day. Additionally, she will stock 10 buckets of slime, replenishing daily, and the mushroom patch here in the city won't become diseased. And now that we have the final 4th level, pretty much all bones in the game, it seems like, will be sent to the focus storage if you wear it. And additionally, we will get 10% chance per impure essence to receive an extra rune from rune crafting. So that's pretty big. That's the main reason I got it here. But we can also get 12% total extra experience from dispelling ritual disturbances and 15% extra necroplasm from rituals, which is also quite big. It also adds an additional single daily teleport to Loop, which you can use for getting your free supplies every day. And the daily free supplies add an additional 2 inkwells of powerful ghostly ink. Also, the potion effects, the ones that have the 10% chance to give you 4-dose, you don't even need to wear the Grimoire, and also you don't even need to be in the City of so you just have that at all times, so that's very useful. Free daily reclaim from death, don't care about that. And then the daily free supplies that you get from here are sent straight to your bank, which is kind of, I don't know if I like that or not, in all honesty. So we just grabbed our free daily supplies, and now I have to go to the bank to see which of them is stuff I don't want. Yeah, the better candles, I mean, I'll just keep them for now, but they don't really do anything. They just last longer. But the you get 2 powerful ghostly ink, as well as 3 greater ghostly ink and 5 regular ghostly ink. So getting that every day is going to be pretty nice, just to save you on having to make ink. Also, you get 5 noted 5 dragon bones and 5 baby dragon bones, but those aren't very important. But yeah, overall, really good rewards. The extra necroplasm and XP from rituals is pretty solid, and then the extra runes from runecrafting is huge. So now I can definitely go do some runecrafting. It's also nice to get myself a soul talisman, yeah, to have that done. And yeah, other than that, we're going to be continuing to do Raziel and other things. I probably won't be... Why is this exclaiming at me? Yep, we completed them all. Good stuff. I probably won't be doing any more Nakatra or anything right now, just because we want to finish Raziel. But let's see, I'm currently at... I think I just did another hour since the last clip. 588 KC, so let's hope for another drop soon. About to hit that second pet threshold. All right. All right, and now we are about to start the drop montage type thing from Raziel. So as you're going to be seeing this quite a few times as we finish him off here on the last phase, I managed to pick up a pair of the, is that the hand wraps? Yeah, sorry, it's a little bit small, the preview, but we did get a hand wrap there, which is unfortunate because that is a duplicate. As you can see, I pull it up here. That is our 3rd duplicate item. And if I will quick chat my KC, I'm up to 597 KC there. So we're still a little bit above, or better than the drop rate, I think, as far as items themselves are concerned. But yeah, we've gotten 3 duplicates now. So that is, of course, not ideal. But you're going to obviously expect to get some duplicates. And speaking of those, we do get yet another dupe here, which is the foot wraps of the first Necromancer. But you will see that is only 614 kills, so very shortly after the hand wraps, and now we have a duplicate of everything except the crown. Still, of course, missing the lantern, the pet, and the robe top. But yeah, 614 kills for that one. And here we are back once again. Of course, this last phase can be a little bit dangerous, but I mean, I pretty much just run around randomly and make sure I'm not standing on any of the things and have pretty much no issue with it. And right there, we actually managed to pick up a robe top of the first Necromancer, which is a new item on the collection log. And take a look at the KC right here, 625. So we got all 3 of these last 3 drops within about 30 kills of each other. And this one being a new collection log slot is very, very nice, of course. The best piece of armor in terms of the stats and everything. And now all we need is the lantern and the pet for the full log. But yeah, so I think we were definitely pretty lucky on the lack of, getting a bunch of dupes. But we still, of course, need to get, and I mean, the amount of drops we're getting is pretty lucky as well. But right here, we do pick up another pair of the foot wraps, which is, again, a dupe, the 3rd one of those that we've had. Obviously, the lantern, the weapons are are more rare. Although all the things are technically 1 out of 640, you're going to obviously get more armor pieces than weapons. And that was at, I think that was at 640 kills. So we're on like a pretty crazy hot streak of drops. And that is set to continue here with the Miso's collar, actually. And yeah, as you can see, that is at 772 kills. So quite a few kills after those the first slew of drops. But that is the Miso's collar, which is the pet. So that's pretty cool to get that. The cat, it is one of my more favorite pets in the game, since I'm a pretty big fan of cats myself. We have 4 cats at our house, one of which killed my original hardcore, if you didn't know that. And of course, that drop rate for the pet there was 1 in 375 at that point after the threshold, so not too rare. And then right here, we actually get another robe top of the first Necromancer, which is, of course, a dupe. Everything except the lantern is a dupe at this point. But I think now we have the long live commentary clip where I'm going to be rambling because I end up going on a pretty big dry streak after this drop. All right, guys, just wanted to do a bit of a touch base clip here. Haven't had anything to put in the video for a little bit. I think my last clip would have been the Necro robe top that I got. at 821 KC if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm on a bit of a brutal dry streak at the moment. I'm up to 1,114 KC at Raziel. Last drop was at 821, so pretty much 300 kills dry. So I did obviously start out quite lucky, as well as getting pretty lucky in the middle of the set of kills I've been doing. But now, after getting the pet and then that dupe robe top, I've gotten pretty beat down by a dry streak, and now I'm actually under drop rate for the number of items I quote unquote could or should have. It's not like a lot or anything, but for uniques at this point, I put it into the wiki calculator. You'd be at about 12.2 uniques, and I have 12. So I'm not, saying I deserve to be lucky or anything, but things have corrected themselves. I guess let's just say that. So yeah, one thing I of course got in this interim is I did unlock the skin for the pet, which is pretty cool. The ghostly blue version of it, which I would have gone and gotten either way if I had finished the collection before 1K. But yeah, that did not end up happening. And also, according to the wiki, they do have a pretty cool calculator. I don't know how to actually reach it. There's, let's see, collection log calculator. They have this collection log calculator that gives you the average KC that you need. So if you put in 0 at Raziel and you uncheck everything, so basically how long does it take to get the collection log from 0 on average, the average is 1,700 kills. So we're still not very close to that from the baseline. So my non-dupe luck is probably better than average, I guess. Although I do almost have 2 of everything, with still missing the lantern, of course. And then, yeah, average 1,700. 50% of people will have it done at 1,549 kills. And then 90% at 2,690 kills. So, yeah, we could still be in for a bit of a brutal time here, but basically, whenever I put in my KC and my drops, it will always say the same thing because I only have the 1 drop left, and that is the average kill count from whenever I'm at a certain point is 640 because the drop rate of the lantern is 1 in 640. And yeah, I don't remember actually at this point. Let me check. I have it in my spreadsheet here. What KC I got? I got the robe top at 625. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. I've almost doubled my kill count since then, and with only needing the lantern that whole time. But yeah, that was when I got my first robe top. So basically, based on what the wiki says, 50% of people would have the final drop in 444 kills. 50% of people would have been done with it by now. They would have gotten that lantern. So that's kind of interesting to see. But yeah, I actually, have I reached? Yeah, no. So I haven't quite reached the average of 640 since, but this is all BS in reality. I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, it is statistics and it is how it does work, but looking at it from the past perspective, looking back and seeing that I would have gotten, or that I was one, just the lantern off at 625, and then thinking that it has anything to do with my odds at this point is, classic just human misunderstanding of how things work. I'm as far away from getting the lantern as I was at 625 KC. There's no there's no guarantees of anything, but either way, 1,114 KC. I'm getting pretty consistent 24 or 25 kills per hour at this point, which I'm pretty happy with. And I'm using 1 blubber and 3 doses of brew per kill and 1 super restore every time. That I have certain spots where I eat exactly, and I know exactly when to eat, and that's been perfectly fine for me. So that's really cut down on my food usage from the start of this grind. I was using a ton more food to begin with, but now that I've gotten into the rhythm of the boss and have a pretty good system, it works out nicely. I also have decent amount of blubber still left, so that's good. I will probably have to fish more of those eventually, though, since you do end up eating a lot of those. Other than that, I've been doing my dailies and doing whatever. Let me see if there's any random stuff. Oh yeah, I'm keeping all this stuff outside of their respective storage because I want to see how many I get at the end, but also it would just keep coming into my bank every time I do Raziel because of that. Obviously, he does drop the new Primal Stone Spirits, which I have 209 of now. For some reason, he drops 19 at a time, even when all his other drops are like round numbers. Like he drops 80 of these or 40 seeds. For some reason, they decided to give him a weirdly odd number for his Primal Stone Spirits. I've been doing quite a bit of my herb runs. I've been going through a decent amount of my seeds. I've also been using I built the partial potion producer, so I've got a lot of these unfinished potions to make into potions themselves. I recently, the other day, just used up all of my Quorum potions. I don't know why you can't see my Limpwort roots or my Eyes of Newt. I've had this happen a few times now, where randomly some things in my bank will disappear until I restart the client. It's a bit strange, and it's usually only like 1 or 2 items in the whole bank at a time that it happens to, but yeah, as far as, I mean, I do need to plant some of these dwarf weeds, but I've been saving them up just to see how many I get by the end of Raziel. But I am out of dwarf weeds, so I should probably plant those pretty soon. But otherwise, I'm almost out of my spirit weed seeds, but those are some you'll get quite a lot of eventually. And then I've been planting some fell stalks as well. And of course, within those farm runs, I also do morchellas, and I've been doing my primal pulp a little bit more consistently, although I haven't actually broken it into primal pulp. I've just been putting the fruits in here to save me some time, and then I can actually, can you use telekinetic grind on these? Probably not. And that would also probably be a waste of your of potential herblore XP, because I assume you wouldn't get, but I want to try it just to see. I'll use it on the lychees, I guess. What do you need? Law and astral. Just curious. But if it doesn't give you the herblore XP, it's not worth it anyway. You cannot. Okay, makes sense. Well, no, it doesn't really make sense. I feel like maybe that you could do it, but because it is a crush, right? That's the left click. Crush, yeah, whatever. I wouldn't want to waste the herblore XP, even though it's not that much. But yeah, I mean, farm stuff is, as always, very good. Got still tons of stuff. I'm doing Pavosaurus Rex at my farm now for more bottle dinosaur roars, even though I have plenty. Right now I don't have any breeding pair to use for any of the breeding logs I'm missing. So yeah, one thing I actually didn't know until very recently, apparently in January of this year, they did an update, a little patch to the farm that makes it so that if you have the breeding log completed for an animal, you are constantly getting the tier 1 perk of that animal. You know, the perks that you get if you put them in the one of the pens as an elder with the farming totem. You get that as there's 2 tiers. Some of them only have 1 tier, so you just get the permanent perk. But there's 2 tiers of the perks, and you get the tier 1 version at all times if you have the breeding log completed. I don't know why they made that change in January of this year. It seems like kind of random, but it's really, really cool. Honestly, it's a pretty big buff, honestly. Or it's not like a big buff, but it's just like a nice QOL thing, especially because a lot of these are kind of pretty good to have on, but you're not going to be swapping around your stuff all the time. And then oftentimes as well, a lot of the perks base level is quite good, and then the upgrade to tier 2 is not as big. Like a lot of these go from 7 to 10%, stuff like that. So the 7% initial is very, very strong. And then you have ones like the frog one where yield from stink shrooms is doubled, which isn't something I'm growing, but that's you know, there's only 1 tier of that, obviously. So, but there's only 1 pen. But either way, I mean, the big ones that would come to mind for this are like the Rax damage boost from spiders. You get a 2% damage boost, which would be 3% if you had the tier 2. But then you also have for Bagrata Rex, there's a chance to conserve bombs when you throw them. So that's really good for saving Vuln bombs. And I mean, yeah, all of them are just like very slight little things that help in various aspects. But overall, it's pretty cool. I never knew about that that change until I saw, like, I started noticing at Raziel when I was throwing Vuln bombs. Sometimes, very rarely, I'd be like, I didn't use a Vuln bomb, but I definitely threw it, and I see the Vuln on him. So I kind of investigated and I found out about that update, so that's pretty cool. What else do we have in here? I've been growing some spiders for the moment because I wanted to get more of these fangs, because that's a really good amount of Herblore XP if you use these, and then I think the mycelial webbing to make extreme inventions. That's like a large amount of XP from Snapdragon potions. Oh wait, I gotta look it up again. Invention potion. Yeah. Oh yeah. So you make it into the regular invention potion with Chinchampa residue, which I have tons of, and that's 175 XP. And then you make it into super invention potion with the spider fangs, and that's another 220 XP. And then you make that into the extreme invention with the mycelial weapon. That's another 300 XP. So it's quite a bit of XP for just the one Snapdragon herb. Whereas if you just make it into a super restore, which is obviously the more useful potion, you only get 142 XP from that. So that's just something I'm considering, making some more extreme inventions. I mean, I have a decent amount of super restores, and I can obviously make as many of these into super restores as I want. But that's just one thing I found about. Additionally, I made all of my wyvern bones into super prayers. I had some wyvern bones, and now that you can grind them without having to use the ectofunctus, it's not too bad in making them. And then the only thing you need to make them into extreme prayers is spark chitin, which I have plenty of, and that is unfortunately that requires 117 herblore, which I didn't know until I tried to do it and couldn't make them. I just typed in extreme potion into the wiki. I did it twice. Wow, that was extreme prayer. Good job. Jesus. Yeah, spark chitin and a primal extract, and that's 1200 herblore XP for one of those. So that's an extremely good herblore XP method. I just need to get, I'm almost 116. I've been doing a bit. I made a bunch of summoning potions, which I can also use these and prayer potions to make those into spiritual prayers, which also give 850 XP just for making those. That's a prayer potion, summoning potion, primal extract, and crystal flask. So a lot of different ways to finagle extra herblore XP out of your potions and stuff here. I could also make more power bursts of vitality. I'll always be making more vuln bombs, which I need to get. Like I said, I need to plant those dwarf weeds to make more of those. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at on the account at the moment. The herblore is coming along. I've been doing the Herby Werby as well, which is a pretty decent amount of XP every week, especially at this level where you get like the 400% increased XP. So hopefully before too long I'll be getting close to that 120, because I don't want to make any more overloads until I get the 120 cape. That's definitely something I want to avoid. And of course 119, having the best version of the adrenaline renewal, is great to have. I mean, I'm sure if I used everything I possibly have at my disposal, I could probably get close to it. Well, I'm not sure about that, but I would hope, but we'll have to see, I guess. I can, of course, again, throw some more stuff in my partial potion producer, but some things I don't have enough secondaries for. Like if I made all the quorums, I would run out of limpwort roots. Got to do more Croesus for that, probably. Really interested to see what the new skilling boss drops in terms of skilling supplies. I'm hoping it's good for Iron Man. Of course, always still buying my daily runes, so those are creeping up as usual. What else is in here? The meats, of course. I haven't really been doing much in terms of skilling. I've mined a little bit more of the ores. I did get the metallic meteorite fragment. I don't know if I mentioned that. That's one piece of the new pickaxe, which you have to get from shooting stars. I will probably be going for the new pickaxe whenever I get a moonstone, so I usually have to go back to Sanctum, or I think there's actually going to be a moonstone from Thalmond next week, so I might just wait for that and then work on the pickaxe there. But it's not really something I'm super worried about rushing. I'm 106 mining. I got one level since the update, but I don't really want like a primal or masterwork 2H really at the moment, so I'm not super worried about it. But that's a potential thing to be just AFKing, which is nice. I've also been AFKing a little bit of the Daemonheim dig site with archaeology, trying to go for these Balarak's sash brush, which I haven't gotten any pieces of yet, unfortunately. These are you get these artifacts, the trinket and the generator from there. So I haven't done it a ton, but a decent amount of those. Also, I'll be having an opening for wild sacks pretty soon. I've got 42. I'll be opening those when I get to 50. Hopefully we can get another Dark Onyx core. This is just my loot tab. I kind of have just turned this into a full update of what I've been up to on the account, I guess. I did have to take a pretty sizable break from Raziel to make some more necromancy runes. They're in my focus here. I made 100k spirit runes, 50k bone runes, 25k flesh, and 12.5k miasma. It kind of works out that way where you use half of each as it goes down. So that's where I'm at. I still have quite a lot of those left, but I'm pretty much out of pure essence. Well, I have 10k of it. I've got 10k of that and 10k of the impure. Need to get back to doing Slayer because you get a lot of that from Abyssal Demons and stuff. The daily ink and stuff from Loop is going to be stacking up here very quickly, I think. 2 powerful ghostly ink per day is honestly pretty nice. Although I have plenty of necroplasm, honestly, so I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I got the golden nomad cape because you had to get one of these for the necromancy elite test. I probably mentioned that already. I think I did actually, but yeah. So overall, we're still doing Raziel. We're on the Raziel grind, but we had to do a couple of detours here and there for the rune crafting and stuff. Just figured I'd give an update and just so I could complain about my dry streak. Hopefully we break that soon, ideally with a very beautiful lantern on the ground. We'll have to wait and see. I did have a bit of a scare the other day where I did a Raziel hour, and then like 20 minutes after I finished the hour, my power went out for like 5 minutes randomly. I have no idea why it happened. Like if it's storming outside, I won't do PVM or dangerous content. It was like a perfectly sunny, normal like morning, and yeah, the power just went out for like 5 minutes. It was very strange, and that's not something that happens like normally. That was like a totally freak, random, out of the blue occurrence. So you never know what can happen with you know being on a hardcore and everything. But anyway, hopefully we don't have to worry about that. Haven't had the power hasn't gone out again at any normal random time since then. So either way, I'll be back at Raziel hopefully with the next clip, or maybe I'll be doing some random skilling or something, or some other drop. I don't know. Still need to do a lot more racks. I've been slacking quite a bit on that because of course I want to get a hilt so I can make my leg into a weapon and get biting. I've just been really slacking for some reason. I don't know. Racks is kind of boring. But anyway, I'll see you guys for the next clip.
Yeah, let's go! Yes! Oh my god, yes. Get in. Give me that. Holy shit, let's go!
So there you have it, folks. We managed to get the Soulbound Lantern as our next drop, finishing off the Stranger Things feat and getting the Lich King title for completing the Raziel log at 1,154 KC, which is definitely pretty lucky, definitely below average. I think the wiki claims the average to be about 1,700. And yeah, definitely was really happy to get that. You obviously heard my reaction there. I wasn't really expecting it. I don't know, because I mean, I did have 2 Omni Guards, but I felt like I was going to get a lot more duplicate armor pieces. But yeah, we did manage to pick up the Soulbound Lantern and finish it off, the collection log, thankfully without any deaths at Raziel. Of course, it is quite a dangerous boss, and I did do it in a way where I was low health quite a lot of the time. But I wasn't really ever in danger of dying too much. I mean, if I signed, I would just telly. And I was just using that 1 blubber and 2 doses of brew per kill by the end of things there. It is a bit unfortunate that the Soulbound Lantern ended up being our last drop, since it is arguably the best item from the boss. But still, I will definitely not complain with an 1154 log completion. And yeah, with that, we have the entire game open for us essentially at this point. I do want to, of course, do some Nakatra for the tier 100 version, maybe go to AOD to try and get the prayer. other upgrades for my necromancy setup, but we are in great shape to continue taking on the rest of the content in the game and working towards our goal of all collections. I'll talk about that more in the next video, but yeah, pretty solid amount of progress in this one. Obviously, we got a ton of drops from Raziel and picked up the title, finally finishing that off. And additionally, got those Underworld tasks done, which are pretty good. They have some pretty relevant rewards that, you know, some older task sets no longer really do have those. A lot of the older task sets, there's not really much you care about. But the Underworld tasks are really good. The Grimoire can help you with a lot of different things. And yeah, looking forward to making use of that. But that's going to be it for this video. Like I said, I will be back on Monday to cover the Halloween event. The information they provided so far, it sounds like it's going to be pretty solid, and I'm really looking forward to how the environment will look. The boss pet skins look and sound really cool, so I hope they are a little bit more obtainable. You know, I hope they're not like super duper rare, but we'll have to see. It's definitely interesting that they're having boss pet skins from the event. The Solok one is the one that I want the most. The Pumpkinhead Solok looks super cool. Unfortunately, I don't have the Solok pet on any of my accounts, even though my main has like 700 or 800 KC. I didn't manage to get the pet yet, but either way, you can still get the skin. You just can't obviously use it until you get the pet itself as the drop. But anyways, enough from me, you guys. I'll see you on Monday. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And yeah, peace out.